I'm Frank Miller, and this is Heritage Garden Wisdom. Right outside your door, pushing through concrete cracks and thriving in neglected corners, grows a plant that changed human history. For 8,500 years, it fed entire civilizations. Then we criminalized it, built a $74 billion industry to poison it, and convinced 3 generations to destroy it on sight. The plant I'm talking about contains 15 times more calcium than spinach, 8 times more vitamin C than oranges, and delivers more protein per ounce than beef. Indigenous peoples didn't just gather it, they cultivated it like wheat, selected seeds generation after generation, and stored them in clay jars to survive winters and famines. Now, we call it a weed. Most Americans under 40 have stared at it their entire lives without knowing its name or its power. This is the story of lamb's quarters, the most nutritious plant in North America, and the system that cannot afford to let you remember what it is. If you value knowledge that can actually feed you and your family, hit that subscribe button now. Drop a comment telling me whether you've seen this plant in your own yard. I guarantee you have. Share this with someone who needs to know that real nutrition doesn't require a grocery store. The story begins in 1987. Deep in the Ozark Plateaus of eastern Kentucky, archaeologists excavating ancient rock shelters discovered storage pits that had remained sealed for millennia. Carbon dating revealed contents from 6500 BC, over 8,000 years old. Inside those pits lay thousands of carbonized seeds carefully stored alongside squash and sunflower. This wasn't random foraging. This was deliberate food storage, sophisticated agriculture. The seeds belonged to Chenopodium berlandieri, Native American lamb's quarters. By 1700 BC, the plant had become fully domesticated as part of the Eastern Agricultural Complex, a cultivation system that sustained populations across eastern North America for over 3,000 years. This happened long before maize arrived from the south. When scientists examined these ancient seeds under microscopes, they discovered something remarkable. The seed coats measured just 20 microns thick. Wild Chenopodium seeds measured 60 microns, 3 times thicker. Thinner seed coats meant faster germination, quicker growth, and more crops per season. Someone had been selecting these seeds year after year, generation after generation, breeding this plant with the same precision we applied to corn from teosinte and wheat from wild grasses. This was agricultural science in North America thousands of years before European contact. Everywhere archaeologists investigated, the Ohio River Basin, Kentucky rock shelters, Tennessee caves, they found Chenopodium seeds stored with other grains, treated with identical care as any staple crop. In 2014, European researchers began finding parallel evidence. Viking Age sites in Denmark, Roman settlements across Central Europe, Iron Age storage pits in Germany and France all contained Chenopodium album seeds, the European cousin species stored in clay jars alongside wheat and barley. Then came the discovery that made international headlines. Danish bog bodies. Iron Age people preserved in peat for 2,000 years had Chenopodium seeds in their stomachs, remnants of their final meals. This wasn't famine food, this wasn't desperation eating, this was regular sustenance consumed by ordinary people across 8,500 years of human history. The Zuni cooked the young greens. The Iroquois harvested it every summer. In India, people call it bhatwa and still purchase it in markets today as a premium winter vegetable. In China, the cousin species Hao Chai never stopped being cultivated. The knowledge was global, the cultivation deliberate, and the nutritional value understood long before laboratories could quantify it. By 1150 AD, maize had arrived in eastern North America, spreading north from Mesoamerica. It was calorie-dense, easier to store, and matched the agricultural model European colonizers would later impose. The Eastern agricultural complex collapsed within generations. Lamb's quarters, sumpweed, maygrass, little barley, knotweed, crops that sustained civilizations for 3 millennia, faded into obscurity. The native domesticated variety, carefully bred over countless generations, went extinct, gone forever. European settlers brought their own Chenopodium album across the Atlantic. They knew it as fat hen, pigweed, goosefoot. Peasants consumed it during famines, fed it to livestock, and employed it as medicine. But by then, agriculture meant wheat, corn, and cash crops, commodities you could tax, sell, and control. The plant survived anyway, colonizing ditches and disturbed soil. It didn't need permission. That was always its strength. Then came 1950, and everything transformed. Post-war America saw the GI Bill finance millions of new homes. Suburbs exploded, bringing with them a new ideology: the perfect lawn. Grass had to be uniform, green, and absolutely weed-free. Construction created disturbed soil everywhere, perfect conditions for lamb's quarters, which colonizes bare ground faster than almost any plant. Suddenly, every suburban yard had it growing, and homeowners panicked. Chemical companies recognized opportunity. In 1947, the Scotts Company began mass-marketing herbicides to American homeowners. The active ingredient, 2,4-D, had been developed during World War II as part of biological warfare research. After the war, chemical corporations needed new markets for these weapons. American lawns became the battlefield. By the 1960s, homeowners associations wrote bylaws prohibiting noxious weeds, listing lamb's quarters by name. You could be fined for allowing food to grow on property you owned. Agriculture followed the same pattern. Lamb's quarters competes with soybeans and corn, the most heavily subsidized crops in America. The herbicide industry exploded into a $40 billion global market. Weed control added another $34 billion. We now spend $74 billion annually destroying plants, with lamb's quarters as target number 1. Meanwhile, the leafy greens market grew into a $95 billion industry. Spinach, kale, lettuce, trucked from California's Central Valley, irrigated with increasingly scarce water, packaged in plastic, shipped thousands of miles. And lamb's quarters, offering superior nutrition, grows free in every crack in the pavement. 1 cup of lamb's quarters contains 464 milligrams of calcium. Spinach, the vegetable we're told to eat for strong bones, contains 30 milligrams. That's 15 times more calcium. Vitamin C, 66 milligrams per cup, compared to spinach at 8.4 milligrams. More iron, more protein, more B vitamins than spinach or cabbage. 1 cup delivers 741% of your daily vitamin K requirement, the vitamin sold in supplements for $20 a bottle. Michael Pollan, author of The Omnivore's Dilemma, called lamb's quarters and purslane 2 of the most nutritious plants in the world, not vegetables, plants, period. The Tohono O'odham cultivated it for thousands of years without laboratories. European peasants knew chickens grew